Hello and welcome to another Franchise Hockey Manager stream. My name is Adam. I'm the community manager of Franchise Hockey. With me, as always, and not pictured on your screen, is Everton producer Jeff. Say hi, Jeff.
Hey, everybody.
And we are back on the special Thursday night edition because we missed Wednesday night with rewriting history Montreal Canadiens 1934-35 season doomed for disappointment part 24. Jeff, Montreal, we're in the 1930s and our team's kind of getting old.
Getting there, yeah, but just to get the obvious thing out of the way first, we had hoped what we should be doing right now is showing you the trailer for FHM 11 and talking about the plans for release. And the trailer is ready, and all the material on our side is ready. Unfortunately, Steam rejected our first approval request to get our store live. So you can go there and wish list it and get a little more information. And for what was basically a really stupid little technicality, they didn't like. There was one element on a couple of graphics that didn't technically meet their rules. It was just a logo that was in a place that they say it can't be. So that was, they told us that 5 or 6 days ago. We resubmitted for approval. They got and told they said at which point they told me, oh, you should know in a couple of days. That I think was early Monday morning. It's now late Thursday night and still heard nothing. So unfortunately, we can't officially announce anything yet. There's a couple other technical reasons behind that too, with the release date and the amount of time we have to have between when the store goes live and when we can actually release the game. So once I'm done with this, I'm going to be sending them another nasty support request, pointing out that we really need to move things along soon. So come hell or high water, we will be showing you the trailer next week, though. So sorry about
Indeed.
that. Wish it was tonight. Very annoyed that it isn't. But we get one more week out of the NHL in the 1930s. So sorry for
All right.
disappointing everybody who
So,
didn't came out.
you know what? Let's just recap that really quick. So, just Jeff mentions, so no matter what, next week, October 16th, 2024, we're going to have things to talk about the upcoming next version of FHM.
Yep.
All right, there it is. There it is. As basic as we can get it for everybody.
Second biggest disappointment of the week for me after what the Canucks did in the third period last night. Well, third period and overtime. So yeah, as Adam was saying, we've been doing pretty well lately. We're hopefully ending this on a high note. We've got 3 consecutive cups. We haven't really been dominant in this period, but we've been just good enough to beat everybody else. The team is, however, getting a little bit older. We did make a big change 2 years ago. Swapped from our starting goalie for. We traded away Roy Waters and gave Wilf Cute, the younger guy, who was actually the Canadiens goalie in the late 30s. The start, he put up, despite only being rated 2.5 stars at the moment, he had a huge season, 14 shutouts, which I think is a team record. Basically, a spectacular season, and the rest of the team is just good enough to get by. Howie Morin's starting to slow down, but as he's slipping, I think this was actually the year, was it this year or the year before that in real life? No, that's the in game. Yeah, this is the year that they traded him to Chicago, which didn't work out well for him in the end. We're keeping him around, but he's. Have I got him in the second line now? He's still hanging on to the first line, but Bill Cowley is coming on strong and really starting to pressure him for that starting center job. So we've got a little bit of depth. The D is in decent shape. And I think we stack up reasonably well with the rest of the league. Speaking of which, we've got a sort of new team this year. The Ottawa Senators are no more, and these guys, the St. Louis Eagles, are going to play their single season in the NHL. The Senators had actually gone on hiatus a couple of years ago, and came back, had a couple of very rough seasons, were losing money hand over foot, and wound up moving to St. Louis. The St. Louis experiment did not go well. They lost even more money and they went out of business after 1 year. So this will be the single season in the NHL in St. Louis. Then the Blue and St. Louis won't get another NHL team for another 33 years.
Yeah, correct me if I'm wrong. I think part of it was they thought they were going to make more money, and then the trains ended up costing them just crazy amounts.
Yeah, because basically everything. I mean, the only relatively close team to St. Louis right now is Chicago. I guess Detroit is close-ish, but still, it's a fairly long trip. And otherwise, they're coming your train from Toronto or Montreal or even New York or Boston in those days. St. Louis was a pretty decent trip, and it was not good for the other teams' finances, and the Blues weren't really, or the Eagles rather, weren't really drawing enough to make that work. And you see the lineup they got here. They've got a couple of decent young players. Sillaps Senior has played his first season with Ottawa last year and did pretty well. Neil Colville, Ranger in real life, also a very solid player. Not much else. Uh, Various veterans and guys who had never quite made it elsewhere. So they're probably going to be finishing last this year. And fortunately, they're in our division, so we'll get a few games against them. But we do have some tough competition. The Americans, who had dominated the period before us, they're getting old too, though. Their defense isn't nearly as intimidating as it used to be. They still got King Clancy and Eddie Shore, but it drops off quite a bit after that. And they're trying a new goalie this year, 18-year-old Bill Durnan, who did he play at all for him last year? No, he didn't. He's probably going to be the starter this year, I'd assume. A little bit getting into the league quite a bit earlier than he did in real life with the Canadiens, but got a great future ahead of him. Just going to be a little rough this year. And the Leafs are coming on strong. The Maroons haven't been that bad either, so it's going to be tough just to make the playoffs this year for us. So I think I've got the lineup pretty much ready to go. And Sam Godin, who I think on the minor league team, looks like he got claimed by Chicago, so no big loss there. Chat question: Cardinal fans, so what happens to FHM 11? Still gets released at pretty much as we expected. It's put it this way: it's very likely it will be out before the end of the month. It will be out
Yeah,
earlier than FHM 10 was.
yeah.
Even once
And
we get all
I'll
this
just say
nonsense with Steam out of the way, it'll.
it was a approval process thing. It's not
Yeah,
rejected's maybe a little bit too harsh of a word.
it's just technicalities on what our store page looked like. A couple of the images on it, nothing to do with the game or whether or not it's ready. Just basically Steam bureaucracy being annoying. So home opener, or at least opener against the Americans, and we come up with a 3-0 win. And Jack Portland, the rookie, is the first star with a goal, 2 assists. I think he's a rookie. Did we? Yep. Well, he's in the minors last year. Don't think we drafted him this year. He was. Oh, okay. He's cast off from Ottawa. He's been free agent for a couple of years. Had a decently long career in real life. You can see it there. And first year would have been. No, he would have been a Canadian last year, actually, and this year as well. So he's in the lineup for us now, and he's off to a good start.
Oh,
And
that's good.
second game against the Wings, and another win. So we're 2-0 to start the season. Although we're going to lose Paul Haynes, apparently. Ouch, that's not good. Ruptured tendon, 3 to 4 months. Not great news, but the good thing is we've got a lot of depth of center, so we can just swap Couture for him, put him on the injured list, call up, I think it's going to be Jack Schill, just as a spare center. And what I will do with the lines, Couture goes to the right side and Russ Blanco goes into the middle. Yeah, just to be clear on the Steam thing, it's not the game itself wasn't rejected. The
Yeah.
Steam store page, just because there was it's literally that we had the NHL logo in a couple of background images, and you're only supposed to have the game logo in those. That is the only reason. So I had to replace about 5 of those images in our submission, and it'll literally take them 30 seconds to approve when they get to it. It's been 5 days and they haven't got to it yet, so it's all on their end. And first game of the season against the Leafs, real life Leafs Canadiens game last night, 1-0 old school game for the Canadiens. Probably not the start Leafs fans were hoping for, getting shut out in the opener. And can anybody beat us? The Maroons came close. They tie us 3-3, so still undefeated. Somebody else is off to a hot start too. And the Americans have just played a whole bunch more games. They're 4-3 to start the season, but we haven't lost yet, and they've lost 3 times. So Rangers are up next, and Couture, who's in for the injured Haynes, is the first star, and it's a 5-2 win. George Hainsworth in goal for the Rangers now. And the media is criticizing Joliet. That seems a little harsh. He's getting older. Let's say there's a little room for improvement, but don't go too hard on there. Just checking our job security. Yeah, we're fine. And the media relationship with is still go. Ooh, wait, no.
Oh,
Yeah, job security is a little in the red. That's surprising.
that's surprising.
Have to get some wins here. And an easy 5-0 shutout over the Bruins. Is anybody else really standing out so far this year? No, not really. Everybody's. Well, the Eagles have actually won 3 games already, but well, they played twice as many as the Leafs. Schedule seems a little unbalanced earlier on. I think that's part of what we were saying earlier with the long train trips to St. Louis. Did weird things to the schedule as well.
Yeah. Cardinals fan asks, so is there any other St. Louis teams that'll appear other than the Blues? Not in the NHL.
Yeah, the St. Louis, I can't remember the Central League team name.
Braves?
Yeah, I think so.
I want to say that from the historical logo pack. I'm thinking
Yeah, I
it
think
was
they were a
Braves.
Hawks farm team for a few years.
Where is my logo pack?
And back to back against the Bruins and the Leafs. Still haven't lost yet. 7-1 win over the Bruins. And Bob Gracie, the first star. So our younger guys are kind of coming through earlier on this season, despite the injury to the veteran. And can the Leafs stop us?
Oh, we have the
No.
St. Louis Braves and the St. Louis Flyers. I think the
Uh,
Flyers were the
yeah,
team.
the Flyers were a Wings farm team.
Yeah, but the Braves were one, so I was right on that.
Yeah.
Which was a Chicago,
I think
assuming from the
I'm
logo.
not sure if Wing or Flyers was a pun on the Wings name or not.
I assume. Oh, I thought it would just be something to do with what's his name?
Charles Lindbergh,
Yeah.
Spirit of St. Louis. Yeah, that makes sense too. Battleship Leduc outdated days, so we will just swap him out temporarily. We are still undefeated, 8-0-1 to start the season. And the Maroons managed to tie us again. They're the only ones that have taken a point off us this season. Now we finally get St. Louis here. And Leduc is back in the lineup just in time for that. Jimmy Foster, the goalie in the 1936 Great Britain Olympic gold medal winning team, in goal, but doesn't help them as Feud gets yet another shutout. And we have a 11-game undefeated streak here, and the media is praising Bob Gracie. Yeah, we'll go along with that. Queued 0.88 goals against average. Not bad at all.
No.
Lineup still looks good. Take a quick look to see how Haynes is coming along. He's down to 2 to 3 months, so we will get him back before the playoffs, I think. Off to Chicago for the next game. And they take us to overtime, but Couture, the injury replacement, has another strong game, 3 assists, and as we win in overtime. The backup goalie, Ron Geddes, is out, so we're going to have to call somebody up to sit on the bench. And does that puts me one over the limit? Oh, he's
You
case
know,
is 1 to 2 weeks, so I'm just going to put him on the injured list for that.
I don't think sitting on the bench is appropriate. It'd be probably sitting in the stands watching the game.
Yeah, press box more likely.
Yeah. Cardinal fan in the chat, he goes, "The Blues have the Hawks to thank for existing," and I said, "No, I think you mean dog food."
Yeah, they were owned by the company that owned the Ralston Purina dog food company.
Now, again, they almost run them into the ground too, but
Yeah.
they also saved them from not existing in the first place.
And there we go. We finally have a loss, and it's to St. Louis, actually. We get shut out 2-0. So, a bit of a surprise as to who finally beats us, but
You should try trading for what's his name on that team.
and we just lost 2 in a row because the Hawks shut us out as well. And Frank Brimzek looks like he's taken over the starting role in Chicago. Although no, it looks like he and Smith are splitting time. So we need to come back from this. And Leduc is out again with an injured groin. Still day to day. So Goupy gets back in. And no, Couture's been doing too well. I don't want to take him out of the lineup yet. Anybody else that's... Johnny Shepard is not great, so I'm going to give Bruneto a few games.
Well, Gretzky is only 45 years away. I mean, I think there's a few other guys.
Yeah.
Like Wreckage Richard.
And it looks like Alfie Moore has pushed Dermott out of the starting job in New York. We finally get back on track, though, 2-1 win. Take on, now he loses another defenseman, George Owen this time, who's out 1 to 2 weeks with an elbow contusion, but Leduc is able to play. So what I'll do is put Leduc back into his regular spot, and Goupy goes in for Owen. Just taking a quick look at our player stats, and yeah, actually you can see Cowley is leading us in scoring, and Moran's has really slipped down there. And oh wow, maybe the media was right about Joliet. He's 6 points in 15 games. That's disappointing. It's really the young guys that are carrying us right now. Cowley, Carr, and Gracie, the second line. And Russ Blinko from the third line getting some playing time with Haynes out. So we're getting old, but the younger guys are coming along nicely. Geddes, backup goalie, almost back. And we lose in overtime to the Leafs. No points for an overtime loss here, so that's 2 points gone for us. And ouch, that's unfortunate for Lauren Carr. He's going to miss a game with a rather unpleasant injury.
Ouch.
So Bruneto is, I'm going to put Shepard back in, and Carr gets swapped for Bruneto.
Okay, would you do that? Would you trade Lauren Carr for Sil Apps?
Apps, well, he doesn't really fit the house rule. The role we're playing by in this is if the only players we can take are ones who are either from Quebec, French Canadian, or played for the Canadiens in real life. And Apps is not from Quebec. Well, he's from
He's
Paris,
from Paris. Yeah, exactly.
just not the one in France. And never played for the Canadiens. I know that. Leave his whole career. And
What's
reasonably
where is
Quebec.
Paris in Ontario?
Can't remember offhand. I think it's Southern
All
Ontario.
right, I gotta Google this.
I think southwest of Toronto somewhere. I can't remember exactly where. And the
Um,
Eagles are doing a little better than they did in real life. Wow, the Maroons are really struggling. And the
it's just
Americans,
north of Brantford.
yeah.
Okay. All right.
And a couple of these second liners are screwing around in the dressing room, so gotta put a stop to that. Geddes has got 1 day left on the injured list, so Nash could stay the backup for one more game, then he's going back down.
Oh, I forgot this was the year with the terrible Red Wings logo.
And 5-2 win over the Leafs as the Morenz has a decent game. So he's not quite done yet. Oh, excuse me. Not really a terrible logo, it's just a weirdly short wing.
Yeah, that's why it's terrible.
I mean, it's if you had never seen a Wings logo before this, it would probably be fine. It just looks weird to us because we're used to the
Okay, well
modern proportions.
that's what they said about hold on that lion that the guy made from that off the playing cards.
Another thing you mean, yeah.
Weirdly stuffed lion.
Yes, yes, I know the one you mean.
I know. I'm trying to
It's a
remember
meme.
what. Uh,
Okay, the owner seems happy with us. Is our security still borderline? Don't think we're going to get fired, but you would hope he would be a little happier than he is right now.
Lion of Gripsholm Castle. There we go.
Yeah,
That's that's
Denmark,
the
I think, or is it
equivalent.
Denmark or Sweden? One of the two.
I just said Sweden.
Yeah. And the Bruins handle us pretty easily. 5-2 loss. Lauren Carr almost back. Bruno is not. There's a couple of points, but he's -4 in 4 games. So I think he's going back out of the lineup when we get Carr back. And we drop one to the Americans. Frank Boucher, who's not done yet. He's older than Morenz, I think, and still going strong, apparently. Carreño and Bill Cowley is, well, it's just a day-to-day with a minor cut, so not a big deal. One more game here. 4-3 win. Couture again from the third line, having a big impact. And Cowley and Owen appear to be healthy, so that is better. Well, Owen's not quite there yet. Guppy will get one more game, looks like. Bruno out, Carr in. Yeah, that looks all right. And where is Haynes? 1 to 2 months. So he's making progress at least. And there we go. 3-1 win. Bounce back against the Maroons. George Owen is healthy now. We are in second place, but we've got 5 games in hand over the Americans. So I think we can make up that ground. But Doug Young is now out with a swollen ear, so he'll sit for a game. Owen in, but this time Young goes out. And we just get by with a 3-2 overtime win over the Americans. And now Howie Moran's got hurt, although he's only day-to-day, apparently. Still 2 points back of them, but Jack Schill will get a game here. And Bruins take advantage of our injuries to get a 3-3 tie. Gopuy, who's about to go to the lineup. Winds up being the first star there, and now Blinko's hurt. So we're running into a little injury trouble here. Shoulder strain, he's gone for 1 or 2 weeks. So Bruneto gets back in. Don't have to call anybody up yet, but we're getting close. Young is still out. Morin should be back shortly, but we're not going to get him tonight. So the Rangers get a relatively easy game against us, and wow, they handle us. 5-2, Johnny Gotzelig. Black Offenk in real life has a big game. 4 points.
Nice.
Embarrassing us at the Forum. And Morin's is healthy enough to play? Yeah, he's healthy enough to play. We will put him in. What's the worst that can happen? It's not like he's going to say break his leg and then eventually die in the hospital or anything.
No.
Okay, and the D is fully healthy. So just going to let Cowley on the first line tonight. Another game against the Rangers, and now they really beat us this time. 6-3 loss. They're kind of falling backwards a little bit here. Morenz gets healthy, and now it's Cowley's turn to go out. Bruised thumb. I am going to put Schill in for him for this game. Let's get him completely healthy. Blinko's only day-to-day, so that's should be almost done. Hopefully Morin steps up here. Yeah, another tie against the Maroons. 2-2 this time. And now it's Jolia's turn to get injured. Oh, strained MCL. 1 to 2 months, and that kind of caps off what's been a really rough season for him. So Schill goes out for Cowley, but then draws immediately back in for Jolia. No, let's hope we can get back to the playoffs. We must be coming up on the trading deadline soon, yeah. January 31st, 5 more days. We'll take a look right at the deadline to see what's going on. Cowley is going to have to play with that bruised thumb. And at least we come up with a 4-1 win. Moran's with a strong game. And are we at the 31st? Yes, we are. We are at the trading deadline. And Russ Blinko. Whoops. Move the screen a little bit. Sorry. Blinko is day-to-day now, so he is almost back. Let's take a quick look around the league and see what if anything interesting is on the trading block. Veteran Baldy Cotton in Toronto. Don't think he was ever a Canadian. No. So.
What a sweet name.
Well, his name actually was Harold, but not even sure if he was bald or not. Maybe one of those ironic things. He might have had a big head of hair.
Did that happen at this time? I had no idea.
Oh, we got Earl Robinson, who played a handful of games in real life for the Canadiens at the end of his career. So, he's also from Montreal, so available for us either way. But the problem is he's only 2 stars. It's not like there's a lot out there. He would be an upgrade as a reserve for us, so maybe let's just see if we can chase him down and
make something work.
Yeah, add a little depth here. Have we got a guy on in the minors that we can give up? Don't really want to touch Hiller. I think he was a decent player. Allen. Yeah, George Allen, we could move him. He's been kind of stuck in the farm for us for a little while. Will they do it even up? Not quite enough. How about a 3rd rounder? what do you want to make it work? Yeah, no, we're not giving up any of those guys. I will throw in one more decent player, but I'm starting to run out of patience with them. What about McGill? Okay, pull McGill, take that third rounder out. What about a fourth rounder 2 years from now? Which is kind of cheating because we're not likely to be playing this game at that point, but... Oh, come on. They're being very stubborn. Any other players down here? Okay, what if I give them all of the stuff that I've mentioned so far? Oops. They're being really stubborn about this. Okay, last thing I'm going to try. If they don't take this, we're not doing it. Second rounders for the next 2 years. We are badly overpaying here. Yes, they'll take that. So we shore up our bench a little bit, although he's not going to start on the bench. Bruneto is going to go out for him. And I'm going to put Bruneto in for Schill, and Schill is going to go down. Actually, no, wait. Julia is long-term injured, so Schill can stay there. And Julia goes to the injured list. And where is Haynes? Haynes is still 1 to 2 months. So let's hope they're back for the playoffs. And that will be our trading deadline. Two-one win against the Wings. How did Robinson do in his first game with us? Decent enough game. What?
Cardinals fan says, my anti-Blackhawks is showing in this as I don't like that trade.
And the media is praising Couture. Yeah, sure, why not? I'll go along with that. Don't need to upset the media. Development report. Cowley up to full 4 stars now. But you can see how old we're getting, the number of guys going downhill. Ooh, the D is getting old. Leduc, Owen, Siebert, all slipping. And then a bunch of minor leagues. Morenz didn't go downhill. That's good news. Russ Blinko is healthy, so Schill goes out for him. And aside from the 2 long-term guys, we're more or less back to fully healthy team. And continuing to struggle against the Eagles, 2-2 that time. Oh no, that's not good. Bob Gracie has been playing well for us is out.
Of course.
Only day-to-day, thankfully. Bruneto goes in for him, but the worst news is we're going to lose our starting goalie for 2 weeks.
That is bad when you're trading away all our goalies.
Well, we got useful players out of them, but okay, Nash comes up. Yetis, who never actually played in the NHL, is going to have to get the start. So we're going to be in tough for a couple of games here. And I got to figure out what to do with this lineup. I'm going to send Schill down. Hopefully we don't. Oh no, he's waiver exempt, so not going to lose him. Going to let the AI redo the lines here because we're kind of in a mess. It's going to try Cowley on Morenz's wing. That's
Interesting.
interesting. Yeah, see if it works. Give it a game. And Joliet has done something off ice while he's been injured. Is that no? It hasn't screwed up Harmony any, so that's fine. And how's the job security? Still shaky. Fans not perfectly happy, but happy enough. And now Leduc gets hurt. For 1 to 2 weeks this time, so really struggling with the injuries this year. And Geddes gets his first start and goal, and we wound up losing 5-3 to the Hawks. Who did we trade to them? It looks like the guy we included in the trade wasn't in the lineup. Godin, who they got it from us on waivers earlier in the season, was, but he didn't have a good game. Bob Gracie is almost back. Let's not test our luck, though, by forcing him into the lineup early. Since Geddes didn't have a great game, we'll try the other goalie, Nash. See if he's any better. 2-2 tie against the Wings. At least it's a point. We are 8 points back of the Americans with 4 games at hand, so maybe a little tough to close that. Leduc, Gracie still out, queued, only day-to-day now, so we'll get the goalie back soon. And both of the longer-term injured guys, Joliet and Haynes, are 2 or 3 weeks away, so we will have them for the playoffs. And Nash did better than Geddes, so he gets the second start. And comes up with a 5-1 win over the Eagles. And is the second star, so good for him. Eagles still staying ahead of the Maroons, but other than that, not a great first and last year for them. Cute is almost healthy again. Leduc is healthy. And so is Gracie. Redo the lines. I guess the Cowley on the first line thing has been working okay. Oh, and on the point in the power play too. Interesting. And Geddes in goal for that one. 2-1 win over the Maroons. So, oh, and Earl Robinson, the guy we picked up, has assists on both goals and is the first star. And is everybody healthy? It sounds like, oh no, Cute is not quite back. Really not going to take the risk with him because we would have a major problem if we went into the playoffs with the goalie hurt. So Geddes had that good game. We'll let him start again. And he loses again, though. 5-3 to the Leafs. Phil Watson getting a hat trick. Joliet is ready to practice. That's good news. Oh, no. Cute re-injured himself.
Of course.
He's gone. He's out for 1 to 2 weeks now. So apparently there was a recovery setback. That's not great. Still, how many games we got left in the season here? Oh, plenty. So he still can close that gap with the Americans, although not that way because the Bruins with real-life Canadian Toe Blake leading the way beat us 4-2. Haynes is skating as well as is skating again as well. Both still a week or two away, though. Struggling here. I'm going to swap Couture out for Bruneteau. And give Nash the game and goal against the Hawks. And he comes up with a 6-0 shutout, so I think he's won the backup job. Queued back to day-to-day again, so let's see if it goes better this time. And Nash is heated up a little bit, so he's definitely starting. And he gets another shutout, this time in overtime, 1-0 win over the Leafs. So where are we? We are 10 points back with 5 games at hand over the Americans. And the Leafs are 5 points back of us. Not in danger of missing the playoffs, because there's that big gap between us and the Maroons, who, you know, it looks like St. Louis is falling apart. Old man Frank Boucher, 33 years old, leading the league in scoring, so had a bit of a resurgence for the Americans this year. Okay, Cute is up to the yellow or orange cross for the injury. So Nash gets another start, back-to-back shutouts for him. And doesn't get the shutout this time, but it's another 5-1 win, so he's playing well. And Cute seems to be healthy. Development report. Only the rookies going up. Whole bunch of veterans going down, and that's all. Yeah, literally every one of the guys going downhill is in our lineup at the moment. That is not good news. Howie Moranz has an unspecified illness. What is it? Oh, it's just a cold. Not a big deal. Okay, so Geddes is going out for Cued. And he is going down, and we'll wave him. I think I will. No, not going to risk Moranz playing sick. Oh, the Eagles grab Ron Geddes from us. Oh, not happy with their goaltending, apparently.
Well, you're going to lose somebody at some point.
Yeah, is he going to... Oh, looks like he's going to be backing up Foster. He won't be starting against us. And we get a 5-2 win over them. Yep, I know that. Claimed by the Eagles. And Bruno, who's only in for covering for Moranz, so that one game gets hurt somehow. So, torn groin, 1 or 2 months. So Moranz goes back in. We're going to have to put Couture in for Bruno. Bruno's going to have to go on the injured list. Do we have either of the guys who are on there right now ready to come back? Yeah, actually, Joliat is day-to-day, so I'm going to just activate him right now. Won't play him yet. I can't play him yet. He's still red. Not going to delay treatment on Bruno. He's not that important to us. No Joliat yet, so Moranz is going to have to play through his cold. And we wound up getting shut. Oh no, that's our shutout. 1-0 for Cued over the Hawks. Moranz sounds like he's healthy. Joliat can play, but he's not quite 100% yet. And I do have a roster spot open, so I'm going to activate Haynes as well. So we're very close to being perfectly healthy, aside from the Bruno injury, who wouldn't be in the lineup either when the rest of the other guys come back. Really need to win against the Americans here, and we get it 2-1. Bob Gracie, who's having a very good season for us, I think. Just going to check the stats. Yeah, actually leading us in scoring, tied with Cowley. Carr's up there too. Moran's still reasonably productive at 32 when he had really tailed off in real life by this point. And you can see in his career history there he missed most of last season. Johnny Gagnon, really disappointing for what should be our first-line winger. His production has really slipped the last 2 years. And Joliat wasn't doing well when he came back. Went out. Let's see now that he's ready to come back. He is ready to come back. Good. Johnny Shepard. I was going to have to go out for him because he's slipped down to 1.5 stars. So let's see if that veteran first line can get going. Not in this game. Apparently 2-1 loss to the Maroons. And Paul Haynes is all the way back. So minus Brunato, we are healthy again. Do I sit Couture or oh wow, Robinson's actually been doing really well for us since he came over from Chicago in the trade. 13 points in 15 games. So he is definitely not going out. Redo the lines, and we got pretty good balance there. I'm going to try to balance the first 2 lines playing time, get them both about even. And wow, I get shut out by the wings. It's disappointing. I'm wondering if we're really going to be able to. Oh no, we're only 4 points back now. So we've made up a few of those games that the Americans played over us. I think we're getting very near the end of the schedule, though. I think this is a 48 game, or is this a 50 game season? 48 games, and we're at 43 right now. So we've got 5 games left. Only one of them is against the Americans, and it looks like they're moderately challenging schedule the rest of the way. Going to be tough. Let's see if we can do it. First one against the Rangers. Really need a win here. Only get a tie. Oops, sorry. Standings, so 5 points back to the Americans. We absolutely need a win here. Oh, this is against the Rangers. I thought this was against the Americans, so we do shut out the Rangers in the second leg of that back-to-back. That's good. Within 3 points of the Americans again, and now we've got them today. Everybody is, Johnny Gagnon is slowing down a little bit, but he can still play. Need a win here, and we don't get it. I think that's it for our first place chances, as the Americans come up with a 4-3 win against us. So unless they totally fall apart here, I don't think we're catching them. But the Leafs aren't going to catch us, so yeah, we're going to get. And just because of the weird playoff system in this period, what's going to happen in the playoffs is the 2 first place teams both get a bye out of the first round, and the second place teams in each division play each other, and then the third place teams in each division play each other. And then the 2 division champions play each other on one side in one semifinal. So they've arguably got a tougher series to get to the final after the first round. So this isn't necessarily a bad spot to be in for us. Let's just not get any injuries the rest of the way here, and yet another tie against the Wings this time. And yet we are not catching the Americans. Does this game matter at all to us? Can't catch them. Can't get caught. I'm going to give a few guys a rest here. Just the fragile veterans. Moran's is going to sit, and Gagnon is going to sit. And so is the Duke. And I am also going to throw Nash, the backup, in. Goal for this game, just so there's absolutely no chance that Q gets hurt. We do lose it to the Hawks, but doesn't really matter. Now let's fix our lineup.
Pete Log, thanks for showing up. Deadly Sports, the answer to that is no.
Okay, so yeah, I think that is our lineup going into the playoffs. Runato is still 1 or 2 months away, so I don't think we're getting him back. But we have decent depth without him. Stats for the season. Lauren Carr wound up leading us in points. Gracie right behind him, so that second line has really come through. And just to reflect that in the playoffs, yeah, the playing time is about even for the first two lines. And we have got these Wings in the first round. Let's just see what they're about. They were 500 this season, just finishing ahead of the Bruins. Oh, not impressive at all. Cecil Dillon, arguably their best player. And Eddie Wiseman, the other best player, is out of the lineup for them at the moment. Although, no, it looks like he's playing with an injury. They may have deferred that. And another guy named Baldy Northcott, one of the decent players, Dave Trottier, but after that they've got a passable goalie in Earl Robinson. Why are they doing this well? Oh wait, is Sid Howe? Are they? Oh, okay, Sid Howe was injured. He's still got a couple of days left on the injured reserve list, so he's going to miss, I think, the first 2 games of the series, so we get an advantage from that. So we really need to come up with a win early here. This is best of 5 and 4-3 win in game 1. That's good news. Jack Portland with the late goal to break the tie after the Wings bounced back. They had been down by 2 and still tied it up halfway through the third. So a little bit shaky for us, but we'll take the win. And one more game against the Howless Wings. And we win this one in overtime, 3-2. How many overtimes did that take? No, first overtime, only 3 minutes in. So we didn't wear the team out doing that. And absolutely, praise Bill Cowley after that win. Oh, it was best of 3. Sorry, not best of 5. Yeah, the first round is best of 3. So the Leafs had up 1-0 on the Bruins, but then the Bruins bounced back and won that. So we'll get Boston in the second round. It's an all New York semifinal on the other side because both New York teams won their divisions. So actually it looks like the Leafs were the better team than the Bruins. Bruins have a pretty solid goalie, Mike Caracas. Yeah, this is a substantially better team than the Wings. Toblake is a little bit injured, so that's good news for us. Oh, it looks like he's coming back from a lot of wrist injury time this year. Fairly good team, maybe a little questionable defensive depth, although we're heading in that direction as well. Late development report. Yeah, the old guys continue to get old.
Old guys are getting older.
That'll happen. Okay, game 1 against the Bruins. Trying to get our 4th cup in a row. Ooh, we got shut down hard, 4-0 by Mike Caracas. This one now is best of 5. So after that effort, should I be moving somebody around? Nope. Can't really see any obvious candidates for it, so we'll just hope we get better in the second game against the Bruins. And we do, 2-1 win. Russ Blinko in the second, off the third line as the first star. Okay, series tied 1-1, and looks like the Rangers may be about to knock off the Americans. Game 3, can we get ahead here? Yes, we can. 4-0 shutout, and Aurel Joliat, who's been having a terrible year, breaks through with 3 assists and the first star. So the veteran comes through when we need him. Still no injuries. That's good news. And can we knock off the Bruins here? And no, 4-0 shutout. Toe Blake is healthy again and has 3 points. So this is going to go to a final game here. And the Rangers are going to the final. Would I think this may be their first final appearance? I don't think we've seen. Nope, they've never won a cup, so I think that's their first time in the finals. Anything I want to change here? Gonna swap Cowley and Gracie there, but other than that, no, just one little swap on the power play. Who just barely made it out. Joliat with another good game. 3-2 win. Oh, wow, he just barely finished that off in time. Lauren Carr with his first goal of the playoffs with only 2 seconds left in regulation time after Morenz tied it up midway through the third period. So the Bruins had been leading going into the third, and we pulled that one out. That was close. So we are now going for our 4th consecutive cup. The Rangers looking for their first one. Hainsworth still hanging on in goal. Well, that's good news. Tom Anderson, their best defenseman, tore a hamstring and is gone for the rest of the playoffs. So that is a really questionable group of defensemen there. A very young Bay Pratt, he's only 19, and then nothing behind him. Very good group of forwards, though. Charlie Conacher, the best of them. So there'll be a handful, but I think we can do this. Although not if that's any indication. Hainsworth shuts us out 5-0 in the game in the opener. And looks like Bruneau, who has been on the injured list, is back skating, but we don't really have a lineup spot for him anymore. Okay, we blew our first game against Boston and then bounced back, so I'll give the guys a chance to do that again. Apparently not, though, because we lose 5-4 in overtime this time. Ooh, only 14 seconds in. Apparently weren't ready for the overtime. Lineup changed is going to take Robinson out for Couture, who played well when we had him in the lineup earlier this season. Not going to do anything to the D. I'm going to juggle the lines a little bit. Need a win here. Do not get it. 4-1, and the Rangers sweep us in 3 games.
Okay.
So disappointing loss to our dynasty there. Veteran George Hainsworth and Charlie Conacher get the Rangers' first cup, and that is the 5th cup for the city of New York. Americans having won 4 before. But a little bit of a downer to end this stream on. And take a quick look at our playoff stats. Who bothered to show up for that? Yeah, really a lack of scoring all around there. The veterans did okay, but the second line, which had carried us all through the season, Bob Gracie didn't have a single goal in the playoffs. Lauren Carr only had 1. So the younger guys were doing okay in the regular season and just got shut down come playoff time. queued. Pretty mediocre playoff for our goalie after a very good regular season. So that is our lineup. Did I? Oh yeah, I've got players re-signed. But I think that is probably likely the conclusion of our Canadian streaming games for this year. So shame to do it on loss in the final, particularly an embarrassing one where we get swept by a Canadian team that's never won the cup before. But the Rangers get their first cup. We get older. So, I mean, if we were going on with this game, I would definitely be having to make some tough decisions very soon. Because Moran's is starting to look like he's past it. Joliat had a very bad season up until the playoffs where he kind of redeemed himself. Not a good season for Gagnon either. And then the young guys who carried us in the regular season didn't show up for the playoffs. So a lot of problems there. And what was the owner got to say about our job security? Yeah, we're still hovering just above getting fired. So I'm not sure how much longer I would be with this team, even if we did keep going. But as I said, if you missed the start of the stream, just mentioning that we've got everything ready to go for the reveal on FH11, just being held back by some steam bureaucracy at the moment. They basically didn't approve a couple of things on our store page for really trivial reasons. So I fixed that within about 15 minutes and sent it back to them. And we're now on day 4, about to be day 5 of waiting for a response back for them to approve it. And once they approve it, we can go ahead with everything. But what that's effectively going to mean is we probably will do the big reveal next Wednesday. The Steam store page may be up before that, so you maybe get some information about the game beforehand, before that. But we will go through everything next Wednesday with you. We'll show you the trailer. So I feel pretty confident that one way or another we will be doing that and showing you what's going on in our next stream. So I think this will be the end of Adam's Penguin streams as well, because what we will probably do is in the weeks after that is be playing FHM 11 on the stream, so you can get a little bit of a look at the new stuff in that. And we do have some new things to show off for you this year. But yeah, disappointed we couldn't have shown you the FHM 11 trailer tonight, but that will be coming very, very soon, even if I have to yell at the Steam a little bit to get that moving along. But it should be very, very shortly. Looking forward to showing all of that to you next week. Got something interesting and historical in particular to show you guys. I think you'll be happy with, as well as a bunch of other things. So I think that will be the end of our Canadian stream. Adam, do you want to take us out?
Sure. So thank you very much for tuning into another Franchise Hockey Manager stream. We typically stream every Wednesday, typically stream every Wednesday night at 11 p.m. Eastern on twitch.tv/Franchise Hockey Manager, as well as twitch.tv/OOTP Developments, with all of our streams being archived on our YouTube channel, which is youtube.com/OOTP Developments. You can also reach out to us on our Facebook page, which is facebook.com/Franchise Hockey Manager. On Twitter, we're at Franchise Hockey. You can find a link to our official Discord in our Twitter bio. Come on down to our official website, which is ootpdevelopments.com. Click on the community button, where you can come talk about Franchise Hockey Manager, Out Park Baseball, Perfect Team Go, or anything else you wish to discuss. As Jeff has mentioned, we are on the precipice of releasing lots of details about FHM 11, so make sure you are following us in all those places to stay up to date, because you never know when things might drop. Other than that, thanks for tuning into our special stream, as we were too busy watching the regular season kickoff and some of our teams winning and some of our teams not winning.
Well, we got a point out of it. Charlie Conacher
Yes.
in this game getting the Hart. Herman Murray, not a well-known player. How much did he play? Oh, he never even made the NHL in real life, and he's been kind of fringe with the Rangers, but he had a huge year somehow this year for them. That's interesting. He kind of came out of nowhere. And the Vezina, surprisingly, Alfie Moore of the Americans. Career backup, only played a handful of games in the NHL in real life, but gets the Vezina here. So yeah, come hell or high water, we are showing that trailer for FHM 11 next week. So make plans to be here. We'll be here Wednesday, 10 o'clock Eastern, 7 o'clock Pacific. So we will see you next week, and you may get a little advance notice of what's in FHM 11 before that if we can release the Steam page early, potentially as early as tomorrow. It would be nice, but not 100% counting on it yet. I thought we would be able to do that last week, and they surprised us unpleasantly. But we will see you for sure, and we will be able to talk about everything next Wednesday, and then hopefully show it off on the stream with the actually playing the game the week after that. So thank you for coming out. Thanks for your patience, and we will see you next week.